Everyone, it's Yvonne here to do the reading for the lovely sign of Sagittarius. Oh, my dog is being a bit attention seeking today. Okay, we're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot for this reading. I'm just going to have a look through it while I'm talking. Firstly, if you are interested in a reading with me, you can book a reading, pay for it, schedule it all at www.theaussiegoddess.com. If you go in there, you will need to use the shop option, which is where all the types of readings I do are, which include things like doing recorded readings, face-to-face readings via Zoom or phone or WhatsApp. And also, that's not me, that is the dog. I do recorded readings. If you just want to ask a couple of questions, then we can do a 15-minute, and if you want to have a half an hour reading, if you've got a fair few questions. If you're interested in joining me or wanting to have a membership, you can do that underneath the screen, but my understanding is you can't do it on the mobile app. You have to go into the main YouTube channel to join. I'm all done now. Okay, so let's just get into the reading. Always a big thank you to you who just joined me. Welcome on board. Thank you for subscribing. And for those of you who've been with me for a while, my love to you all. I love seeing your comments. Okay, so Sagittarius, let's just do the big spiel on the natal chart, birth chart up front. A lot of people think that when they have a sun in Sagittarius, that they call themselves a Sagittarius, but there is a lot of other aspects to a person when they're born. So you have 12 houses, you have all these other aspects, and you have a pretty intensive birth or natal chart. That's why each one of us is so different. And the way to find that out is by Googling a natal chart or birth chart, putting the details of your birth in. A lot of people who follow me on the channel have been doing that for a while. I get always what they found in themselves, which is really fascinating for me. I'm not, an incredibly experienced astrologer. I only have a very basic knowledge, but I do know that you can download a report. So if you do a natal chart, birth chart in Google, put in the details of your birth. If you have the time of birth, even better, because your reading around your rising or ascendant is extremely accurate. If you don't, you can still get a birth chart, and it will be pretty accurate anyway. So, and you can ask for a report. It's free. You can print it up and you can read through it at your own leisure. There's lots of things you learn, like your North Node and your South Node and your Lilith and all those things. And there's a couple of really surprising elements where you can find things out, like your childhood, what sort of childhood you would have had, what sort of partner you would be best suited to, that sort of thing too. So it's pretty intensive and very interesting. So yeah, have a look into that. But anyway, for today, for those who identify as a Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, ascendant, or you have, like me, Sagittarius in several places. I think I have 5 Sagittarius planets in my chart, which also, means I've got a lot of fire. My main signs are not. So I have a little bit of earth, a little bit of air, a little bit of water, and a lot of fire. Alrighty, let's get into this reading. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands coming through. So the Ace of Wands is a card that talks about a new beginning. It's the beginning of a cycle. And very often with a cycle, it can mean, especially with a wand, it's something you feel very passionate about. So it may be something like, excuse me a moment, my dog is chewing something. What are you doing in there? Did you bring a ball in? Sorry, people, my dog's a chewer, so he chews often and thinks he shouldn't be chewing. So this means brand new beginning. Could be in regards to work. You could have started, it's something you feel very passionate about. Could be a relationship. Could be you started a new course, but this is passion. So behind that we have the 5 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. Very interesting. That's the 8 of Swords, which sort of gives me that feeling that you've got in your head, you're worrying about things a lot. There could have been some hurt or pain, but I feel like it's, when I see this, it's like a new beginning after a very sort of taxing time here, possibly with a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But you do have the 9 of Pentacles. There is something you've been through, Sagittarius. What have you got? Put it down. Let me have a look. What is it? Come on. Spit it up. Come on. What is it? Drop it. Drop. I can't see it. What is it? Come on. I don't want to see. Wear it. What is it? No. Put it down. What is it? Oh, I can't believe you've done this right in the middle of a reading. Oh. Don't you pick it up again after I just bloody gouged it out of your mouth. What is it? Come on. Good boy. Oh, that's all right. You can have that. It's a bloody treat. After all that. Sorry, people. Okay, so I feel like Sagittarius, you've come through this sort of very taxing time where you've probably had either some heartbreak or some very difficult time. But you've got the 9 of Pentacles there, and you've got this beautiful Ace of Wands, which means that, you know, you're coming into a really good time. Somebody said to me the other day, not very focused, well, it's a bit hard at the moment because we lost our female, and I've got my male around me all the time now because he just wants attention. I'll put a photo up of him. So I feel like you have come through a really sort of difficult time. So let's see what's going on, because you're coming out the other side. So we have the Moon with the 4 of Pentacles. You've let go of something here. The World and the Father of Swords. Have you been dealing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius? Because to me that looks like you've come out of the other end of a situation. I feel like it's love. I have to say I feel like it's love. Clyde, you have to get off your demon claws down. Okay, you put a lot of energy into something here and you didn't get back. So it makes me feel like you've had a relationship or you've been in a situation. And don't forget, sometimes when we say relationship, it may not be romantic. It could be a relationship with a friend. To me, it feels like you've put in a lot of time and energy into this person and they have not reciprocated. And you're cutting it off now. For some of you with King of Swords here, this could even be a divorce, separation. Let's just get right into it. All right, so I have the Queen of Cups coming through with the Devil card, a lot of Capricorn energy. And you know you have the Justice card, which is exactly the same as the What's Cracking reading, same position. You do have beautiful cards here, but I can't help feeling that maybe you've come through the other side of a narcissistic relationship or a karmic situation. And I feel like you've got very strong water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and you've got strong air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And I feel like with the Justice card here, especially with that King of Swords, there's been a separation, possibly divorce. I feel like you're tracking really well now with that star right in the middle, but it looks like you've invested a lot of time and energy into something that has not given back. So I want to put some more cards on it. So there's a brand new beginning. I don't think it's with the same person because I feel like you've been dealing with something toxic. So 5 of Swords, so you moved away from something, broken heart. You could have walked away from this situation. There's been a lot of mental energy going on here, and I feel like somehow now you're walking into this 9 of Pentacles energy, but you do have the 7 of Swords, which came out very strongly in the What's Cracking reading. Have you been dealing with somebody who's been very toxic? Because I feel like you've put a lot of energy into something here that hasn't really worked out well for you. And it could be that you're dealing with a Sagittarius that's been quite toxic too, let's say. So if you're cross-watching for somebody, you may have been dealing with a very toxic energy. You know, sometimes we can get into relationships with people and we feel like the relationship is really good. And before we know it, we've been so manipulated and so gaslit that we do not understand when we come out the other side how abused we were. And it takes some time to heal because you're so dependent on that person. You can't bear the sight of them being away from you. Toxic people have this energy of being able to manipulate you into a place where you're completely subservient. And in the end, you just can't do without them. But you do. Once you start to heal, you see it all for what it was. But honestly, sometimes you can walk into counseling afterwards and see how toxic a person was. All right, have the Five of Cups. It definitely tells me that something wasn't right. The Son of Swords or the Prince of Swords with the Magician. All right, you look. You're ready to start manifesting something now. So if you've walked away from a toxic situation, even if this is a relative, a strong Pisces energy here, I never really noticed that before. Aquarius energy, a little bit of Capricorn energy, a lot of Capricorn energy, Pisces energy coming through too. I feel like you're on the tail end of that now and starting to heal from it. So if this relationship, and it might not be the person that's toxic, it might have been the situation that was toxic. But I feel like you're coming out the other side and you're really starting to heal from that. All right, let's have a look at the Animal Spirit Oracle card. Thank you for being patient with me with Clyde. I'd already got well into the reading. It's hard to pack up a reading when you've really got into it. Wow. Okay, so we have the tarantula coming through here. Woo. Oh, straight to it. Great. At a crossroads, claiming life's purpose. And that's what I said. I feel like even if it's been a really hard trudge, even if it's been very, very difficult, you're coming to the tail end of something. Clyde, demon claws. So the tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. So maybe I'm speaking to you before you've actually moved away from this toxic situation. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patient and calm like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. So follow your intuition. That's the biggest one here. If you're out of balance, you may hesitate on decisions or overthink them. And to bring into purpose, like I always say, journal. If you're having trouble in your life and you're having trouble focusing or getting yourself on track for something, journaling is the best way to go. We have very, what would you say, very little, I guess, understanding of the impact that writing things out does for us. And you know, when I was having a lot of trouble sleeping at night, somebody said to me, get up and write down all your thoughts. Because if you're not sleeping, you might as well do something practical. So I would get up and I would write down what I was thinking about. And I can tell you, if you write it down, it goes from in here. It's like that worry. I do it with shopping lists too. I think, oh, I must get potatoes, rice, eggs, milk. And then I think, so I have a board, I write it down. Because if I don't, I'm constantly thinking about it and it clouds all my other thinking. So if you've got a problem or issue and you're trying to sort through it and you're waking up during the night stressing about it, then write it down. You know, it's really interesting. My daughter just called me not long ago because she's gone through, she has 5 children and 4 of them are on the spectrum. So with the 4 that are on the spectrum, the first 3, 2 of them have ADHD as well, and the 4th one's just started school. But he's higher level, he's a level 3. And they rang her from school and said he gets extremely tired, he's a bad sleeper, gets extremely tired at lunchtime, and we're going to have to do half days. And she's committed to going to TAFE. She's like her mother, I think. She thinks she can do all things for all people. Not like that anymore, but I was when I was younger. So anyway, so what she did was she agreed to pick him up at lunchtime every day, which is what she had to do with the twins when they first started school. They both had different needs, and she was doing all of that. Wants to do a TAFE course. She has a 3-year-old who is absolutely gorgeous and really clingy and really dependent on her youngest child. So she will ring me up to normalize things, and I'll often say to her, you know what, sit down, write everything out. If you're going through a toxic situation, sometimes you don't realize how toxic that is until it gets through the other side. So try journaling. It's very strong that it should come through in that reading as well. So try writing things down. Try putting your thoughts and feelings out as well, because if you're not carrying them around, it will make your mind clear to be able to move forward. All right. Again, thank you so much for being patient with that dog. He's wild. He's a Frenchie. He looks like a gremlin. I might see if I can put his picture up on the end. All right. Thank you again. Thanks, Sagittarius.